Mastitis is the most common and costly disease facing New Zealand dairy farmers. As part of VetN's proactive ethos, they have a subsidiary company, Pure Milk, dedicated solely to comprehensive mastitis assessments and mastitis prevention programs for farmers. Steve Cranefield leads the team and is visiting a dairy farm with a pretty big problem.
I've been alerted to a problem on this farm because of this, what we call a somatic cell count graph. When the tanker comes to the farm every day, they take a sample that gets sent up to the laboratory, and the farmer gets a report which tells them where the cell count is. And the cell count is a measure of mastitis in the herd. And we can see on this farm that since mid-August, the cell count is gradually increasing. So odds are there's something happening in the milking machine or milking process that's causing that rise. So I've been a vet for 22 years now. I actually ran a vet practice as part of for the VetN as a manager of our Otahonga branch for 9 years, and in the last 5 years I've been involved with the mastitis consultancy work. Despite all the drugs that go into cows, mastitis is a problem because it's spread of infection a lot of the time from one cow to another. So what I do is all focused around what's happening in the milking machine to try and reduce that spread and to stop the cows from getting infected in the first place.
The level of mastitis in a herd is often caused by issues with the milking machine or the milking process. Steve and his team at Pure Milk do their mastitis assessments at milking time, where they assess the complex interaction between the cows, the bacteria, the milking machine function and the farmer's milking technique. Once the cause of the mastitis is found, the Pure Milk team provide the farmer with an action plan to prevent ongoing mastitis.
I just use these ports here to measure the vacuum on the cow's teats. So they just sit in here behind the claw. And that's measuring what we call a cluster vacuum. So when they're sitting on the cows, we'll see in a minute, I just plug my vacuum gauge into that, and so I know exactly what vacuum is on the cow's teats. So at the cow level, what I'm looking at is three main things: how well the cow's milking out, the condition of the skin of the teats and whether it's healthy or not, and also what's happening on the end of the teats. So we can see this cow here, she's got what we call teat end damage. And those cracks are where bacteria will grow and potentially get into the udder to cause mastitis. All of the cow's teats, every one of them has got cracking on the end, and that's caused by problems with the milking machine and the milking machine function. The cows, they get quite sore when they've got teat end damage. So what that does is it affects the way the cows let their milk down, and that can affect how well they milk out as well. Yeah, so in general, a younger cow is less likely to get infection for a couple of reasons. First of all, when you're younger, their immune system is better, but also most importantly, there's a relationship between how high the udder is up off the ground as to the level of mastitis. So if you think about it from the bug point of view, the bugs are less likely to get up onto a young udder because they're higher up, whereas as cows get older, their udders get bigger and their teats are closer to the ground. So there's actually a naturally higher rate of mastitis in older cows. So one of the important things for good mastitis control is teat spraying. The reason that's important is because when you get spread of bacteria from cow to cow through the milking process, the teat spray is put on after milking to try and kill some of those bacteria. In this shed, we've got what's called an automated teat sprayer. So we can see that this machine here is going under the cow and putting a disinfectant, in this case iodine, it's an iodine-based teat spray, onto the surface of the teats so that any bacteria that's been spread from cow into the liner and gone onto other cows, we're trying to kill those bacteria. So in some sheds they would put the teat spray on by hand, but in this case we're using an automated teat sprayer. So on this cow's teat here, we can see we've got little blood spots and bruising on the end of the teat. So that's a sure sign that we've got some problems with the setup of the milking machine, and that's causing that damage there. And so that's going to lead to more mastitis. We've got machine function problems that are causing damage to the skin like that. what I've been doing is just assessing the teats as we're going through the milking, and I'm finding a lot of cows that have got teat end damage. So this one is, we can see that the teat end's all swollen out, and we're starting to get some cracking on the end of the teat. So the key things that can cause or lead to teat end damage like that is the vacuum level, which we're checking at the moment, pulsation settings, the liners that are in the shed, and also the cup removers that we've got in here, whether the cups are just staying on for too long. So those are the things we're going to investigate to work out why we're getting that teat end damage in the herd. So in a shed like this where we've got automatic cup removers, what I want to see is that the cups are coming off the cow pretty much as soon as the milk flow stops. So I'm just observing, looking at when the milk flow stops and then when the cups come away. If the cups are staying on for too long, and so the cow gets to the end of milking, there's no milk left, but we've still got the cups sitting on, and that's going to stretch the teats and potentially cause teat damage. So what I'm doing is just checking that, looking at when does the cow finish milking and when do the cups come off the cow.
Steve discusses his findings with the manager.
I just wanted to show you what I'm seeing, and that's on this cow. You can see a couple of things. You can see all the little red spots on the surface of the teat. Yeah. So that's hemorrhages. So that's caused by possibly vacuum or over milking. And the other thing we can see on the bottom of the teats, you can see that we've got some swelling around the base of the teat end, and we've got some cracking on there. So that's going to increase the risk of mastitis.
Steve's hunch that the milking machine settings were the cause of the teat end damage that led to the mastitis on this farm proved right, and the necessary adjustments were made.